Welcome back, and tonight I'm going to go ahead and make a very easy side dish. I'm going to make coleslaw, and it's very refreshing in the summertime, or if it's the winter, but it is summer right now, and I don't want to heat up the house, and I want a nice side dish. So we'll get started. First thing you need to do is find yourself a container. Sometimes that's the hardest thing at my house. What size container am I going to grab? So I'm going to try this one. It might be a little bit big, but it'll fit in the fridge well. And I got a green cabbage because that's what looked good at the store. Purple cabbage, I like purple cabbage also. Sometimes I do a combination of the two, but this one was the one that looked good. So the first thing I like to do is I personally like to take the first layer off. Just to make sure I get anything nasty off. And then I'm going to take it over to the sink and rinse it off. Rinse this off. And well, and then, whoops, there goes my water. Okay, then I'm going to take it back to the cutting board. And I'm going to cut the end off. And I'm going to have to get out, actually I'm going to cut the end off and then cut this in half. And then I'm going to get out the core right here. So I'm just going to go like that, just kind of make a V. Set that aside and then take out other core, set that aside, and then I'm going to take this back over the sink and rinse this part off. And I'm going to quarter it. So I got it's already a half. I'm going to quarter it. I'm going to keep it together, and I'm going to just put very thin slices. I think I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to go this way. So we want small enough bite-sized pieces. And now it almost looks like I got more cabbage than I started with because there's air in between. So I'm going to put this in the container. And if you happen to notice there's a couple of big pieces, throw those out and take it back to the cutting board and make sure you get it smaller. Okay. And then take my other one, do the same thing. But this time I'm going to go like this, and then I think I'm just going to cut it down the line like this, and then cut through it, because then I think I'll save this thing. Just do it really thin. Hope everybody's having a really good day today. This is a nice side dish that you can make earlier in the day, and then it's already ready for dinner. And the longer coleslaw sits, the better it tastes. So that's another advantage if you make it early. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have any large pieces. So I'm going to go back and do a little bit more cutting. That was not a huge cabbage, but as you can see, once you cut it up, like I said before, there's air in there, then it looks larger. So if you take 2 cabbages, then you have an awful lot of coleslaw. So sometimes I do the purple and the green and mix it together. That's nice. Like it almost looked like I had too big of a bowl, or storage container I should say, but I don't. Now the next thing will be carrots. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse off my carrots and then take the skin off. I have two different types of, I call them potato peelers, but they could be considered carrot peelers. There's this type. And I find that this is easier on my hands. But some people prefer the other type, which I'll do another carrot with the other type. So I rinsed off the carrots. Now I'm taking off the skin. Making a bit of a mess. I'm going to set that aside. And then I'm going to show you this type. So then there's this standard type. For me, for some reason, I get a better grip with the other one. But whatever your preference is, they're both, as long as you have a newer one, they're sharp. Sometimes they do get old and need to be replaced because they lose their sharpness. The end of the carrots off, and I'm guessing that I only need 2 carrots, so hopefully I'm right. Okay, so I found a grater that has the right size that I want. I don't want to go too big, that'd be more like for cheese. This is a smaller one, so I'm going to do this size. I'm going to continue to do this, and while I'm doing that, I'm just going to set that aside for a second. I'm going to go ahead and do that up. But I just buy my favorite brand. So there's all different brands. You just look where they have salad dressing. The refrigerated salad dressing typically is where you can find this, and whatever your favorite brand is, it just has to say coleslaw dressing. I have tried to make the coleslaw dressing from scratch, and sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's just not quite the flavor that I like. So I've just been normally just buying it myself. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to grate this, and then I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so what I personally do is I just grate it till we have like that much left on the carrots. So I don't cut myself, because there's nothing worse than getting cut by one of these. So I will just go ahead and either eat these tonight or save this part for my salad tomorrow. Or I have my dog here who would really love to eat the carrots, so he might get some. So then I just go ahead and sprinkle the carrots in here. And then I need, okay, so you just need a spoon that'll actually fit inside. And I'm just going to end up using probably the whole jar, but I'm just going to put half in right now and start mixing. Sometimes it's easier to go ahead and mix some of it up first and then add some later. Now, besides just using this as like a side dish, what tastes very good, if you haven't never tried it before, if you have barbecued meat and you have like a shredded meat sandwich, it tastes very good on that sandwich. And some people, I think, even might want to put it on a burger if you have a big enough bun that you can really make a big burger. But it does taste very good on the pulled pork or pulled beef with barbecue sauce on a sandwich. It's very tasty. Okay, so I'm going to put the rest. Thoroughly. You'll make sure you get the sauce in between all the pieces of cabbage. See, this way you can really, you could have put the whole thing in a food processor. You could put your cabbage in a food processor. You could run your carrots through a food processor. I like it this way because I kind of like some of the bigger chunks on my coleslaw. It just gives it a different texture, but if you like it super thin, you can definitely go ahead and either really take the time to cut it super thin or just run it through your food processor. And I like a lot of carrots, so that's why I put a lot of carrots in. And, whoops, look what I found. Definitely want that out. That is part of the core that I somehow missed. Another good reason to mix it up. Okay, so I want to show you how much that made. So it's quite a bit, just with the one head of cabbage. So that was good. So definitely have tonight's dinner and then probably for a few days. And it keeps a little while, so that's good. All right, I'm going to taste test it. Oops. Very, very good. Very refreshing on a hot summer day. That's for sure. Like I said, it will even taste better tomorrow or even a few hours from now. But you can certainly serve it as soon as you make it as well. And if you were going to make enough for a large group, you're going to want to double everything. So I hope you enjoyed this very easy side dish for the summer months, and hope you guys are having a great day. And thank you for those of you who are subscribing to my channel. And if you don't subscribe and you enjoy the content, it is free. And thanks for watching.